recording and monitoring. This call is subject to recording and monitoring. To accept this free call, press 1. To refuse this free call, thank you for using Securus. You may start the conversation now.
Hello, honey bunny.
Hey, sweetie.
How are you tonight?
Tired. I want
Tired.
to let you know they're going to move me back into the system again.
What does that mean?
I think they're going to put me back into the feds.
What
I'm in a sheriff's department now, so they're going to probably transfer me back to Gilmer or someplace else.
is that? That sounds bad.
It sounds what?
Is that bad?
What?
Bad.
I can't hear you very good.
That sounds bad.
Bad?
Bad. Isn't that?
Okay.
Isn't?
Bob?
Is that not a bad thing?
Yeah, it is a bad thing. So they're going to put me back in the federal system. Well, I expected this was the option. It's 50-50 anyway, at best. It's going to be the appellate court. This case is going to have to go to the Supreme Court. That's not going to make much difference anyway because they only hear 200 cases out of about 1,200 every year.
Wow.
So I guess the mine's going to be. So I'm still working the UCC program anyway. We'll see how that works out. But I'm going back into the system. That's for sure. I don't know if it'll be tomorrow or the next day or the next week. I want you to know just in case. If anything should happen to me, natural causes or otherwise, it will not be because of natural causes. It will be because somebody through the Department of Justice has given the nod to make me have an accident or pass on natural causes.
Oh my God.
So I want you to know that up front. So I'm telling you that loud and clear ahead of time. The other thing is, if anything happens to me, it will be because of the Department of Justice taking orders from this European cartel that I keep talking about. And then that cartel, those people are called Khazar. Khazar. It's important that you remember that.
Yeah.
If anything happens to me, I want that word to go out as far as it can go. And everybody gets hammered with Khazar until they start studying who they are exactly. And they're going to find out they were the ones who created the Jews, East European Jews, in 720 to 740 A.D. to hide themselves because they were being killed by Charlemagne, King of France, King Charles. The beloved King Charles that everybody knows. And now that we know who they are, that's what I'm working on. I'm going to go through the hammers of hell from this point on to expose them and how they are operating inside this country. And they are using the Department of Justice as a control point for all of their deeds.
Yep.
This cartel was responsible for Civil War, World War I, World War II, Korean War for us, Vietnam War, the Middle Eastern wars. They are the ones who are the receivers for the bankruptcy through the Vatican. The absolute true on the record if people will bother to look for it and look it up. Look at it. So anyway, I want you to know that. This Khazarian cartel are the ones I'm going after. I've already got the case filed in this court here. They're dragging their feet on getting me in the court on that. So now I'm going to have to go back and have somebody handle it. So that means I'll have to transfer the case out of their court. They can't handle this anyway. It's way over their heads. I'm deadly serious when I talk about this national security issue. It's a non-frivolous case, national security issue for fraud, expanding fraud. This is what I'm talking about. America has already been sold out, and America doesn't even know it. Now we've got, this is what Kennedy was trying to warn us about. That's why they killed him.
Right.
They have killed, the same group has tried to kill Andy Jackson before Lincoln. They failed with him though. He survived it. They killed Lincoln. More up to date, a couple of others in between there, but the one that we know about, they killed John Kennedy, Bobby Kennedy, Martin Luther King. They tried to what's his name, Strahan, whatever his name was. Not from them. They killed Reagan. The rest of the presidents that we know about were theirs. Nixon, Carter, all those others, Bushes, all theirs, all belong to the cartel. So this country is absolutely, and I've had it confirmed today. The attorney today told me he knows that. I said, well, why aren't you addressing the issue the way you're supposed to? I got the case in court. I said, they're operating under statutory law, which is international private law. They killed our common law, absorbed it, they said, along with equity, which is fairness law, into statutory law, and then they get rid of common law and equity law, and you end up with this international United States Code statutory law. This is how America operates, and this is why there are so many people in prison today, because they are making buku bucks off of this.
Yeah.
People are going to wake up. They really do. They're going to stop this screwing around and, oh, I'm a this, oh, I'm a... No. It's just one thing. It's just one group of people. The fact that we went bankrupt in 1933 because of the corporation that created itself in 1871.
Yep. And
my butt's on the line here for all this stuff, you know. So I ain't got time to be messing around with jokes and grandstanding and stuff. This is serious stuff. This country's in deep, deep trouble, and this is why. If nobody's paying attention to that monetary fund collapse that's going on, I get to see it every 2 weeks. Every week, the newspaper, and it's dropping. Pretty soon it's going to go straight down. There ain't going to be any dips and curves or whatever. We're in free fall right now.
Yep.
That's how no, they're too busy going out to COVID. Every time they want you to be distracted from something like that, national debt crashing the way it is, they have a COVID, they have a World Trade Center, they have a Waco, they have something else going on. So the collapse in the economy in 1933, previous to that, they had the collapse of the 1929 stock market, right?
Yep.
Then we went to a serious drought. At the same time, they did it in the middle of a drought when people aren't paying attention to this sort of thing. That's how they do it. Always that's how they do it. The Patriot Act was trying and all that stuff. Same thing. Other issues. War in the Gulf. War here. War over there. War. It's one group of people behind it all. They are called KHAZAR. K-H-A-Z-A-R.
There's too many distractions now.
What? That's exactly why they get so many distractions. Because they don't let jerks like me are out there waving their arms all over the place trying to scream at people and pay attention. It's not these places. Don't worry about the COVID virus. That's just another virus. It's all behind this KZAR group is behind all of it.
Yeah.
That's what we want to focus on is this KZAR group. Forget everything else. Focus, people. Focus. Jeez. I don't know, man. I'm frustrated. Mm-hmm. And the other thing they need to focus on, too, is the Uniform Commercial Code, because the Uniform Commercial Code is their way to get out of a corporation called the United States of America Incorporated. And that's the only way you're allowed to get out, by expatriating yourself, not from the United States of America Republic. You're going to expatriate yourself from the USA Incorporated. Mm-hmm. There are two United States. They're operating under the USA Incorporated. But your United States of America Republic is still sitting there. Nobody's using it.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they're always so confused. They've went, well, the Republic is... They're using a Republic. They're using a Communist Manifesto as statutory law, for God's sake. It's private international law, United States Code, statutory law out of the United States Code entitled, and all these guidelines and shit are all come out of communism. Crying out loud, everybody. The information's on the computers. Pay attention. You're going in the wrong direction. No one's going to help you but you yourself. Each individual is going to find out this for themselves. We can tell you all kinds of stuff, and it's going to sound like pie in the sky. Check out the information. I challenge you to do that. You'll see the truth. And there is relief, there is help, there is going to be a better life if everybody will pay attention, know what's going on, and we'll get cracking. I'm serious.
I know. I think you're probably right, but the thing is, unless you have your own military, I don't know how you back it up.
Look, our military makes up about 300, about a million strong, or even less than that, probably. All right, we're 320 million people, for God's sake. If they're going to start doing that against us, all hell's going to break loose. And under no circumstances anybody to give up their firearms. No circumstances whatsoever. This is a national security issue and crisis. This country is in an emergency state right now, and these people are coming. The European cartels, the Bavarian group, are putting the squeeze to us right now. They are the bankers. They are the International Monetary Fund. They are the Rothschild family and dynasty, and they're the top of it. But they aren't even the top. One more group that we think is above the Rothschilds. And I don't even think it's a group. It might be just a small, might be one guy, might be one person. We don't know that for sure, but give us time. We'll figure it out. I just wanted you to say, I just needed you to hear that, to know that, because I'm going back into the hands of the United States Marshals. The United States Marshals have almost had me killed a dozen times, or half a dozen times on the record. Recorded. And you think I can get that recorded in front of a legitimate court? Filing a complaint? I've got it all over the place in those courts. And they ignore it completely. I even got it on a habeas corpus 2241, which they have to hear. It has to be acknowledged. And they're just ignoring it. The Quiet-Tam action is the Quiet-Tam action. If the government doesn't want it after 90 days, I can still move forward with this Quiet-Tam action. They're just ignoring it. They're ignoring everything. By the way, let Yuri know and those others that have been stuck in there for a long time to get a hold of the redemption process material. Please tell him that. That's going to be his only real salvation. Start to study it. And I'll give you messages from time to time.
Hey, Ed.
Yes, sir.
Hey, I wanted to let you know, I heard you say U.S. Marshals, and I'm in agreement with you. I've got story after story after story of U.S. Marshals abusing prisoners.
They're not Americans. I haven't found a single U.S. Marshal yet that was a straight shooter.
Yep.
They're abusive, they're condescending, they're narcissistic, and they'll get you killed so fast, so they would fail us, they'll snap at you.
Yep.
Okay. They'll just turn their backs on you differently. If you get hurt and land on the ground or something, they don't care. They'll walk right over you, they'll stop on you and walk over you. They're that abusive and cruel. Every time I get blue pins, they put the black box on me. My hands turn dark, almost getting starting to get black. All the nerves are dead, my right hand, the back of my right hand.
Yep. Do you have any idea where they're going to move you at all? You think you could possibly end up in a CMU?
Going back to Gilman. They'll probably send me back to Gilman again. Another shithole.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Well, I'm the bad guy now. You see, now I get 25 years, so I have no idea how they're going to send me back. But I'm pretty sure my property is still at Gilman. I think they knew about this even before I left Gilman. So they wanted to see if I was going to do this on a video thing. No, I'm my elocution. I didn't come up here because I wanted a vacation. I really expected I was going out, and I should have been out the street right now.
Right.
He took a charge that was already time served, 924A, and he recharged me on a charge I had already served time on. That's double jeopardy. Clear on its face. Primatization revenue.
Yeah.
Absolutely can't do that, but he did it. Now it's going to go to the appellate court, and the appellate court should immediately dismiss that as soon as they see it, that should be out the door. So then why are they sending me back into the system? Because the appellate court's going to do it. We already know. We talked about it, I'm sure. Which means it's going to go to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court hears 200 cases out of 1,200. Do you think the Supreme Court's going to hear this case? Yeah, right. The only chance I got is Trump. Trump on the UCC process. The UCC process, 7 days, supposed to have to obey and abide by. What's he going to do? I want to follow this thing to the end now. I want to see how everybody's breaking the law. From the appellate court and the Supreme Court. That's okay. I don't mind it this time. I want the whole truth of these murdering people. Waco, Ruby Ridge, all this stuff. World Trade Center. They're behind all of this stuff. And now we know how. And we know the truth. The Department of Justice.
Right.
And that's a fast jack. Department of Justice. Absolute pivot point for all criminal action in this country conducted by the cartel known as the United States of America Incorporated, which is owned by Eastern European bankers. And remember, the Jews have been smacked around for 1,500 years. Now, they've been a little bit condescending and narcissistic themselves, thinking that they're the chosen people. But they're really not. They're really not guilty of everything people say. So we've got to stop blaming them. It isn't them. It's the damn cartel that hides inside of them. That's who it is. And the cartel is Khazarian people. You can look it up on computer. You'll find it. It's there. I know, because that's how I found it. It took me a long, long time to figure out things on. I'm looking at it, looking for them people to get into the assassination. Now we know who they are. This world has got to start paying attention, direct attention to this Khazarian group. The international thing. Oh, there's a lot of sellouts that join them who live in the stuff from other countries and nationalities. But the Khazarian people are blue-blooded type of people. You know what that means?
Yeah. Well, the challenge is that anytime anybody speaks like you speak, Facebook, YouTube, all the social media, they shut them down. They immediately shut them down and they censor them.
The media had, they went to a motorcycle accident instead of coming to my trial. That place should have been filled with what I had to say. And now it's partially starting to expose a cartel even in court. I know there's a judge who's an Eastern European Polish guy, and he was born in an occupation camp in Poland at the end of World War II in 1945. So is he part of the problem? Yeah, that's why they call him in, because he's out of the cellar.
Yeah.
And they came to the occupation camp in Poland, over here to America, his mom did. Not her fault. I mean, I'm sure there was, but for some reason, they caught him up. He had to grow up, and he went to school and college and law school, and he sold out. Wow, the same people that caused his mother and his parents misery in Poland, he works for today.
Right.
The same people. Wow, that's really rotten. He turns on his own family and everybody.
Right.
So we know what kind of guy he is.
Right.
But I don't know why about this. I'm angry at them, but I have no hate. I'm animosity. As a Christian man, I've got to hold the line to what I feel about this. And I do. I'm going to do what Christ did.
Yep.
And I'm not going to sit back here and just let this thing go by unnoticed and unsaid. I'm not afraid of them. And they can hurt me. They can tell me, oh, they're trying to sometimes survive gassing me, burning me, freezing me, torturing me, abusing me, leaving me in pain and something for weeks that I'm on end. Give me disease on my back and kidney stones and in a hot, smell of 110 degree temperature. Nobody knows about any of this stuff that goes on. But fortunately, I was able to get a recording and on the record, some of it. So now I got to go back into it again. Here we go again.
Yeah. Do you think it's possible they could move you to a CMU, because in a CMU they kind of control and censor you even more?
I'm at CMU right now.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You said that before, right? Yeah.
I was in the CMU for 6 years there.
Yeah.
We opened that one at Marion.
Right.
So this one here is worse. Believe it or not, this place is worse than that. This is the sheriff's department. I can't believe this place, nice it could be, this could have been a nice way to do it. People are polite, I like the people, CEOs are good and everything, but here's how they go. Our policy is, we have to do that stupid stuff here. Our policy is, we just have to do what we're told. But outside of that, they're very polite and courteous and easy to get along with. But they're still not getting anything done. This place is like a beautiful mannequin. It's hollow inside.
Yeah.
Pretty on the outside, but hollow on the inside. But it's the best one I've been in so far. Imagine that.
Wow.
And one of the worst at the same time.
You have 1 minute left.
Confusion, all that good stuff. Anyway, thank you for listening. I hope you recorded that.
Oh yeah, we got everything as we always do, and you know, with the election coming up in less than 30 days, there are people talking about possible civil war. I hope that doesn't happen, but it's really getting kind of crazy out here right now.
I'm afraid these people are not going to bow down. They're not going to bend. They're not going to give it up. They're so close, they think they have it under control, taking it over. Talk to you soon.
Yeah.
The caller has hung up.